Okay, listen, I know I called him a calamity, but I just read what was on the script. But I regret saying that because I actually have a bit of sympathy with Kepa, because I think, yes, you're a penalty specialist. You're coming off the bench. I do, Darren. You're coming off the bench very cold, and he had all the confidence in the world. They were tough penalties, and he absolutely skied his. Look, the reason I have some sympathy is because I just can't imagine being that one person where the lump of the responsibility feels like it's now on your shoulders. Do you know what? A lot of people, and you're right, but a lot of people have looked back to what he did to Sarri and gone, there you go. And a lot of people have also said as well about the great penalties. There are a number of penalties there that were savable, and I'm not taking nothing away from both goalkeepers, but I said as I was watching the penalty shootout that it was going to take somebody to miss the target for them to win the penalty shootout, because neither goalkeeper, I mean, a couple went under Kelly's arms. There was one where Kepa was standing about 2 yards from the post, daring Van Dijk to put it there, so he puts it there when he just got to stick his arm out. Yeah, I would have. I know they spoke about it before, but when you look at, I think things change. You have in-game tactics and in-game management, and looking at the form of Mendy and how unbeatable he looked, there was nowhere on the planet he was coming off of that pitch. Let me ask you a question I asked Ali yesterday. If you were those Liverpool players and you're walking up to take a penalty, especially the Van Dijk one where he's daring him to go the same side that he's standing, would you have gone for that penalty if it was Mendy?
Absolutely not, because I've been there where a goalkeeper looked unbeatable. You put the ball down, you look at him and you're just thinking, wow, I might have to give this a little bit extra. And that's where the doubt comes in, because you start to go, he's been absolutely outstanding today. So if I don't get enough power on this, I think he's probably going to save it. So then that's when the player gives it a little bit more extra, and that's when the accuracy goes. He might pull it wide or something. But the fact that they took Mendy off, I can guarantee you, them Liverpool players taking them penalties, thought, thank goodness for that. I know that's no disrespect to Kepa, but that's more because of how good Mendy had been for the 120 minutes.
So Thomas Tuchel said that they knew that they might do it before the game, but he obviously wanted to see how the game went, how many subs he'd already made, if he'd needed the subs, or if he had one spare for Kepa at the end. And now, I suppose hindsight, as we said yesterday, is a beautiful thing, but it does feel like in future, do you think you'd maybe consider Kepa not to be a penalty specialist anymore?
Well, he's made the wrong decision. That's the bottom line. He's 100% made the wrong decision. And I know one or two Chelsea fans would throw it and say, you know, it was at the Super Cup that they'd made the decision. However, Benty's right. Mendy was unbeatable for 120 minutes. Some of his saves were absolutely ridiculous, never mind top class. The double save from Keita, and then when he got up to put the one over the bar from Mane, is as good as anything I've ever seen live, and I'm not joking. That's how good it was. So if I'm a Liverpool player, and I said it to you yesterday, would you? If I'm a Liverpool player, I'm ecstatic. I'm not pleased, I'm ecstatic when I see Mendy go off for the penalty kicks and Kepa. They could put MD on and it wouldn't have mattered, because Mendy was just having one of those games where you're in the back of the penalty taker's mind. You're thinking, he's having some game here, I'm going to have to be unbelievably accurate here.
Exactly.
Let's look at the table. So at the moment, Manchester City are top. They are 6 points clear of Liverpool. Liverpool have a game to play until they're at level in the same games played, which is 27 each. And then they play each other as well next month, which is going to be a huge, huge game.
Massive.
What do we think is going to happen here with Liverpool making this chase from Manchester City? Do you think they will catch them? They can catch them. But
they can catch them, but I don't think they will, because Manchester City against Everton got fortunate with the decision, because it was handball, but they've won that game, so you have to put that to bed. And we've seen Manchester City do this. We've seen them get beat and then go on incredible runs, and that's my only thing. I think Liverpool will continue to win games as well. But Manchester City just defensively are solid. I think they've kept the most clean sheets. They've conceded less goals than anybody. But, you know, they can just go on runs where they win 10, 12 games in a row. And I think they might need to do that. And they've been there and done it before.
Of course they have.
Them and Liverpool went toe-to-toe where they had to keep winning games, and City did it. So I think Liverpool will run them close. But I think City in the Premier League will just edge out Liverpool, I think.
Manchester City as well. I'm just looking at their fixtures. They've got the Manchester Derby on the 6th of March. And then they've got Champions League playoffs obviously to play, and they've got the FA Cup tonight as well. When they play Liverpool is the 10th of April, and it's at the Amex. By that stage, you can just feel, I mean, they could potentially have the gap closed again. So, for example, if Liverpool win their next game and they are within 3 points and they stay like that game, if Liverpool manage to win that game and go level on points with them.
Wow. And by the way, I've got to tell you, I thought the first game was one of the best games of football.
2-2.
Oh,
wow,
man alive. What a game of football. I was raving about Sundays. Sundays was excellent. But the Man City Liverpool game, it finished 2-each. It was one of the best games of football.
I think that's been my favourite game this season.
I couldn't disagree with that.
Two
Bertie.
top teams.
Yeah.
Not one of them thinking, you know what, let's just take the point. Both teams going, you know what, we're good enough to win this end-to-end stuff. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, remember Salah's goal in that game as well?
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Wow,
It really was. So, you know, there's not a lot, clearly not a lot between the sides. We're blessed. I mean, these are the two of the best sides that we've ever seen in English football. No doubt about it. But I'm with Benty. I'm just leaning towards City still.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.